So what was your review of the scrimmage when you went through the game tape?
You know, like most scrimmages, there was some good stuff we did. Obviously, there was a lot to correct. There's a lot to build on, though. I really think that from an offensive standpoint, the last three to four practices, we've really improved. It's been really encouraging to see the improvement in such a short amount of time. But I think obviously it happens with reps. It happens with time. It happens with guys understanding there's a process, and then the coaches demanding that we do things right all the time. And believe me, we weren't perfect Saturday, nor were we today. But we're making strides. Guys are starting to do things we're asking them to do from a schematic standpoint, and then obviously from a fundamental standpoint as well. So very encouraged by what we've seen. And we're just going to keep the foot on the gas pedal and just keep trying to push them every day to get better and better.
Hey Dan, we're in the last week of spring practice now. Can you sort of update us where the quarterback battle stands in your mind? Well,
the first thing is that there will not be a quarterback selected till the fall. I mean, we're not going to announce a starting quarterback this week. So these three guys continue to improve. They continue to do all of them have good days, and then the one will be ahead, and then the other one bumps ahead. It's too close to tell right now. But I will say this: they're all getting better. You know, it's been really encouraging to watch their pocket demeanor. You know, the fundamentals, their eyes, their feet, coming off their reads. You know, like Jaron, for example, Saturday, he did something in the scrimmage that's a very small thing, but it's something that I've shown half. It was like that. I was like, oh my goodness. And again, they all had moments like that, and they all have, which good things. And then we'll have a moment of you know, part of this position is this. And again, you know, everybody talks about handling adversity, but I've been coaching and playing this position for a long time. One of the biggest things is learning how to handle success, and that's not the game. But I'm talking a play to play. You know what I mean? So they might have 3 or 4 good plays in a row, and that causes them sometimes to relax a little bit, maybe just a little bit, just relax a little bit, and then that leads to a mistake. And I think that's another thing. Young quarterbacks, which all these three guys are, in my opinion, are very, very young. They're learning every day. There's something new to learn. But you got to know only how to handle adversity, but handle success too. I've had 2 or 3 good plays, and then I make a huge mistake because maybe I did relax, maybe I did get complacent for a play, you know. And they have to learn how to, you know, clear the mechanism, if you will, every play and play the next play. Learn from the past play, good or bad, and then move on to the next play. And I think that's an attribute that we're working with these guys on a daily basis. But that one has reared its ugly head here in the last couple practices.
So Dan, what have you seen? You know, Tate talked about early in the spring that he was doing so many things differently. You know, being under center for the first time since high school. How much progress have you seen from him specifically?
Good. Today might have been his best day, actually. We'll watch the tape, but I thought Tate made some very, very good throws today. And it is a comfort level for that young man. I mean, he's talented. He can run. He's got good arm talent. We asked him to learn a new system. We asked him to learn new fundamentals and techniques. We asked him to move to a new city. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of pressure on him. I mean, let's be honest. You know, he's comes in with all the accolade, you know what I mean? So there's a lot going on in that young man's life, and you know what? At the end of the day, he's just a young man, and we're trying to help him get better every day. But there's a process we all have to go through. Tate's going through the process, and we had that talk on Saturday after the scrimmage, him and I, and he had a good day today, and hopefully we can continue to build on that. But we are asking him to do a lot of those things that are different, but certainly he's going to grasp on. He's going to get better on them, especially as he gets more reps at him.
What are you looking at most closely for the spring game? That's the first part of the question, and also knowing it's the last session, and also the offensive line. How does that affect things?
The offensive line is like, as I mentioned, there's been no continuity, but that's because of the injuries and stuff. You know, like Navon standing here staring at me. I thought he was going to come hit me right now. He got me nervous. He's lurking back. And again, I can't say enough about him. Like, we moved him to center. He hadn't played center all spring. He's been playing center the last week and a half, and he has done a really good job. And I think for him, for example, I think it's a blessing in disguise, because now we feel going into the season we're going to have an immediate backup center that has experience and has gotten better. A, B, I think, and he can tell you, I think he's gotten better as far as his knowledge of our offense and of defense, since he's had to make all the calls as a center these last week and a half. So it's a blessing in disguise. We don't want Corey Gaynor to get hurt, obviously, but he has. And Navon's turned this into a huge plus for him and our team as far as I think he's becoming a better player. He's more versatile. He understands more. So the offensive line wise, we need to get continuity. We need to figure out who's our tackles, who's our guards, and we're figuring all that out. But once we get 5 guys, it's going to be very important that they learn to play with each other in fall camp. Left side to communicate, trust. Right side, communicate, trust. A center, giving everybody the call and get them going. I can't even sit here and explain to you how important that is. It is important, but with all the injuries that we've had right now, Zion had to miss for a wedding this week. You know what I mean? He wasn't. You know what I mean? So we just got things going on, and I give Coach Berry a ton of credit and the O-line. They just keep battling and getting better, and they're getting better. And we got some tough guys up there that are smart, and they'll continue to improve, especially with Coach Berry's tutelage. He's an excellent coach. And then what we're looking at this week from the quarterbacks, I'd like to see these guys handle the team, get them in and out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, get us in the right plays in the run game and the protection-wise, and just basically just manage the game and manage the team, and not be Superman, but take what the defense gives them and move the team. And again, we saw glimpses of that on Saturday, I think, with the guys, and we want to see that Saturday. I mean, the thing to learn from this thing is for example, Saturday. You know, we had people at the game, there was a crowd there, and I know that's not a big deal. There wasn't 80,000 people there, but there was people there. And so as a quarterback and as a player, you have to learn how, when the moment you walk on the field for warm-ups, you have to get your mind on the things they need to be on, right? You can't focus on looking around at the crowd, the bigger the game, you have to focus on what my job is, where my feet are supposed to be, where my eyes are supposed to be. And Saturday was a practice for those quarterbacks to do that. And I talked with them about that on Saturday morning. Like, you need to learn from this. Don't let that be a distraction. As a coach, I have to do the same thing. I can't walk out on the game, pre-game, and there's a big game, there's people there, and then your mind wanders and you're not focused on the game. So all these things, these experiences with the crowd, with people watching, are important because we don't get preseason games to do that. You know what I mean? So these things are all very important for the development of the quarterback. And again, I talk about quarterback development. Physical, mental, and emotional. There's 3 areas that they have to develop. And the physical part we're doing, the mental part we're doing, and then the emotional part is what I'm talking about. Handling success, handling adversity, handling an environment, okay, handling a crowd, staying poised, staying focused, and learning how you do your job no matter what the circumstances are around you.
Yeah,